Roughly 5 million ballots counted. Georgia's presidential election audit deadline passing just hours ago. All 159 counties in the state meeting that midnight deadline to count nearly those 5 million ballots again by hand. But there could be a few counties still trying to reconcile their numbers. The Secretary of State's office says they are confident in the accuracy of the process, which has gained national attention and criticism. Joe Ripley live outside the state capitol. So, Joe, the state now has until Friday to certify the results.
That's exactly right, Sheba. And right now we are awaiting an update from the Secretary of State's office on the largest audit in U.S. history. It happened right here in Georgia. Of course, over the past week, thousands of elections workers have hand sorted and counted millions, nearly 5 million votes here in Georgia. Despite a few issues involving about 5,500 uncounted ballots, officials have not noticed any widespread irregularities. You had, of course, the box of 2,600 ballots discovered in Floyd County and a memory card that failed to be included in the count. Then in Fayette and Walton counties, about 3,000 ballots total were scanned, but the cards they were on were not uploaded to the system. In all, President Trump gained about 1,400 votes, still leaving President-elect Biden with a lead of more than 12,000. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger stood by the process despite facing criticism within his own party.
In Georgia, we run a pretty tight ship, and with our audit, the counties that didn't get it exactly tight, they got found out, and that's a good thing. And so we're going to take them to task also.
So the Secretary of State has until 5 p.m. on Friday to certify the results statewide. Because the margin of the presidential race still comes within half a percentage point, the Trump campaign still can request a recount by machine. They have until Tuesday to do so.
And happening today, the Secretary of State's office will hold a briefing on the results of the statewide audit. It is at 11 a.m. at the state capitol, and you can stream it on the 11 Alive Facebook and YouTube pages, and be sure to tune in to 11 Alive News at 11:30 a.m. for the latest developments.